Hi everyone, and welcome to the Ingles table. I'm Martha Vining, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make my chilled green pea soup. And everything I'm using today for my ingredients I got at Ingles. What I'm doing first is I'm melting this butter in a pan in my stock pot, and I'm going to let that go ahead and melt. After that, I'm going to be adding some onion to it, some green peas, some frozen green peas, and also some fresh mint and parsley. So I'm going to go ahead and let that melt. I'm cooking these onions in the butter right now, and this is going to make the soup really yummy and delicious. But if you're a vegan, if you'd like to make a vegan version of this, you can use vegetable oil and cook the onions in that. And that works just fine also. Okay, so the onions have gotten softened now and they're starting to get cooked through, so that's a good sign to have. And so the onions have been cooked, and to this I'm going to add peas. Now these are frozen peas. These are Ingles frozen peas that I got in the freezer department, and I'm going to add those to the onions. And I let these thaw a little bit. I haven't cooked them, but I just got them out a little bit ahead of time and let them thaw out a little bit, just so they cook a little bit quicker. And I'm going to go ahead and stir that around, and that's what it looks like right now with the onions and the peas. And to that, I'm going to add some chicken stock. This is an organic chicken stock that I got at Ingles. And this is really easy to use. And I'm just going to go ahead and pour that in over the peas. And the recipe for the amount is on the Ingles table webpage. So I've put the mint in and the chopped parsley, just stirred that around a little bit. Next thing I'm going to do is puree it with an immersion blender. When I chopped the mint and the parsley, I wasn't too concerned about chopping it up too finely because the immersion blender is going to do that for me, but I wanted to chop it up a little bit. So I've got my mint and my parsley in there, and now I'm going to use my immersion blender. You can also use this with a food processor, but the immersion blender makes your life a lot easier. If you wanted to continue pureeing this and make it a little bit smoother, you could, but I like the little flecks of the parsley and the mint in there and the peas in it, so I'm going to leave it just like this. I'm going to season it with some salt and pepper. This is some sea salt that I'm using. And then I'm going to put some ground pepper in it, some fresh ground pepper. Like that. And just stir that to mix. And this is meant to be a cold soup. So what I'm going to do now is let this cool to room temperature, and then I'll put it in a storage container, and I'll put that in the refrigerator and let it cool. And it's good to make it the day before because that gives it plenty of time to cool down. And then I'll be serving it probably for a lunch. It's a very nice light lunch soup, and it's very refreshing, especially in the spring or summer when it's warm outside. But we'll be enjoying this soup and in the springtime. But thanks so much for joining me here at Ingles Table. Be sure to check out the website for the tips and tricks and recipes that I've been using today, and I'll see you next time.